So my name's Susan Campbell, and I live near the shores of Lake Ontario in Lindenville, New York. I grew up there and I raised my children there. When I was 6 years old, my mother divorced my father because he was physically abusive. Because of her, I learned at a young age that we do whatever we need to do to protect the people we love and make sure that they're safe, even if it is a hard thing. As a young teen in the 70s, I participated in the first Earth Day. My earth science teacher, Mr. Kenyon, had a poster that hung in his room, and it was an earth with an ear on each side of it. And the caption said, "Mother Earth's greatest problems lie between the ears of mankind." He told us that every person can make a difference and that the care of the earth it should be a priority for everyone. And so I was determined that I was going to be that person. So you fast forward to about 5 years ago, and there was a wind turbine project proposed in my community, and I was really excited. I think turbines are beautiful and peaceful, and they're a huge part of transitioning off of fossil fuels. Turbines are the #2 solution for climate change in the book Drawdown by Paul Hawkins. If you have not read the book, you really need to get it. After some research, I jumped in with both feet because that's kind of the person that I am, and started promoting and supporting the turbines coming. I believed that our little town could make a difference. We could make a difference in the fight for climate change, and at the same time, the turbines could make a difference for our little town. Because the town I grew up in is dying. There used to be mom and pop grocery stores and little diners where the community would come together and we would talk and visit. But now, there's just dark windows and locked doors. The turbines would make a huge difference in the economy of our community. There'd be money for our schools, money for the fire department, tax breaks, maybe even the town park. It'd be so nice to have a place to take our kids. Our first hurdle was getting the local support involved, believe it or not, was the developers of the project and the larger green organizations. They came into our community and they decided they knew what was best for us. They knew how it worked. The developer told us, "We know how this works. We know what to do." And went on to mansplain to us, how we were going to do this, right? And so I actually had one of the people from one of the larger green organizations tell me that they knew what would work better in my community than I did, because they knew my community better than I did. She'd been there 2 times, and she lived almost 500 miles from where I live. So that was one of the hardest things when we first got started. So the developer got a new public affairs person, thank God. And she was a woman, thank God. And things started to change because she realized that in order to make any kind of a forward-moving action, the people who lived in the town had to be the ones who were listened to. We were the ones it was affecting. We were the ones that were going to get the benefit from it. And we were the ones that were on the front lines. So she pushed, and we started getting listened to. And there was we were growing a group of people to help get it approved through the Article 10 process. In New York State, there's a process that for any energy that's over 25 megawatts, I believe it is, has to go through this big, long, arduous process. So we were pushing to help with that. We thought we were up to the challenge. And then we got smacked in the face by the opposition. I'm sure you're all familiar with them. The climate change deniers, the skewed or totally false information, You know, the lobbyist, the bottomless funding that comes from nowhere and just keeps on coming and coming. The thing is, in our community, in our town, the majority of the antis that started the process about stopping the turbines don't live in our town full time. They have cottages on the lake, and they live in places where they have grocery stores right down the street. We have to drive at least 10 miles to get to a grocery store. The closest place there is for us to buy clothes is a Walmart that's almost 20 miles away. They have no idea what our town is like, and the majority of our people in my town are farmers and blue-collar workers. Many of us can't even afford to go on a vacation, let alone own a vacation home. So we need the revenues from this project to encourage businesses to come to our town, something to open up those locked doors and put lights in those dark windows. So these part-time residents started a group to oppose the turbines. They spread completely false information. They used intimidation, like name-calling. I was called a wind whore at a public meeting, among other equally horrible things. I was also told at a public meeting that there was no way I could possibly love my grandchildren if I wanted the turbines to come to our town. So you can imagine there weren't a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon saying, hey, let me come and get screamed at and called names. So it's been a really tough fight. So what we did, well, first of all, I have to say that they notified people in New York State, you can change your voter's registration to vote anywhere that you have a connection to. So what they did is they tapped one of the local people that was against the turbines to run for our town board. And then they sent out flyers and emails to all of their friends, change your voter registration and use my cottage as your address. We had 44 people change their registration to our town. We only have about 1,200 people in our whole town. The local incumbent only lost the election by 14 votes. So the only agenda that this board has is stopping the turbines. They've been in for 3 years. They have not done one other thing in our town except fight the turbines. So we were still working to organize support, and then I met Neely. I don't know where she is. She's one of the organizers from Mothers Out Front in New York, and she understood how important local voices are. She knew that the people who are going to be affected need to be the ones who are given the power to speak. So it's been about 2 years since we started our team and went to work. We do social media, canvassing, tabling, public information meetings, and what I like to call protest with a capital P-R-O, and speaking at board meetings. We have a core team of about 12 or 14, and ours is called Mothers and Others Out Front because I have just as many gentlemen as I have women in my group, but I figured they had a mother, so that works, right? So, and we've got about 50 or 70 that like we can call to show up at things or write a letter or something like that. Another point that I want to make is, before that, we have a petition that's going to be going to our governor because there is a part in the Article 10 that the governor can override laws that are unfair, that are passed to stop turbines from coming. So we started a petition, and you can go on the Mothers Out Front thing and look under Lakeshore Mothers and Others. And there's a petition for people who do not live in our community, who support the people in our community in our fight. And I would appreciate if everybody would go on and sign on to that for us, because we're planning on after Mother's Day, taking the Mother's Day cards and the petition to the governor. So another point I want to make before I finish up is that our team made a conscious decision that we weren't going to use the anti-tactics. We speak with truth and with facts and with kindness to everyone, even the antis, even the woman who called me a wind whore. I speak to her and smile at her and ask her how she's doing, because I refuse to become them. So we have a plan. We have a plan for mobilizing with training on how to speak effectively to our officials and community members about climate change and how turbines are an important part of the transition. A plan for growing with canvassing and tabling to let people know that we're here and we really want them to join the fight with us. And a plan for winning with the voice of mothers, caregivers, and allies rising up and fighting for a just and livable earth for our children, our grandchildren, and the generations to come. I know that at times it seems like a really daunting task, but we have to keep on fighting, because there are no do-overs, there is no planet B, and I know that my mom would be very proud.